Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am going to do a VR today. I'm a bit behind on my videos. It's been a busy week and fighting a bit of a cold, as you can probably tell. But today I'm going to do a VR for Dan at Old Sarge Collects, and he's celebrating his 200th subscriber. Although I think when I looked at his channel, he's well past 250 now. So Dan's got a great channel, some unique stuff he collects, and I like the way he collects and what he collects. And you know what he's asked us to do is to share some post-playing day Hall of Fame cards. You know, cards that you've picked up. And it's something that he's focusing on picking up. And I agree with him. It's a great way to get some Hall of Famers without breaking the bank. And you know, when this Dan first talked about this, I didn't think I would have much to share. And then I started going through my cards, and it turns out I actually do. So first of all, thanks, Dan, because what it did force me to do was to go back into some of the boxes I haven't looked at in a while and pull out some great cards. So anyway, the first place I thought of looking when I think of past playing days are some of my manager's cards, right? Like this 1971 Bob Lemon card. I think, you know, manager's cards are great ways to pick up Hall of Famers, right? Here's a couple Frank Robinson cards. You know, he's managed a few teams. And here's one where he was managing the Orioles, another one where he's managing the Giants. Here's a manager's card of the great Gil Hodges when he was managing the Mets. Or, and I love these two cards, right? You've got Yogi when he was a coach for the Yankees, and Yogi Berra when he was a manager for the Mets. I especially love this card, but you know, I think this is a great way to pick up a Yogi card fairly inexpensively. And then there's always Teddy Ballgame, right? You've got this one is the 1971 when he was with the Senators. Here's his 1969 card. One he's really happy, one he's in a pretty bad mood. And I just recently won from John, 3D80s Kids. I'm going to be getting a 72 card, so I'm excited about that. You know, the other thing I didn't realize when I got back into the hobby, one of my favorite things to break were the archive sets. And there are a lot of cards out there that I did not realize, either in the newer or the archives, that had Hall of Famers. So here's a cool one. You know, Dan, you might even show him this one. I know Dan would like this one. It's a picture of Ted Williams for opening day card when he's fishing. Thought that was kind of cool. Here's a great one of Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig's a guy I don't have any cards of, and you know, his cards are really expensive, but of all the great players, he's probably the one I would, outside of the Henry Aaron rookie, he's probably the one I'd like to get the most. Here's some 2020 tops. There's a nice Whitey Ford. And here's Juan Marichal with his great leg kick. I love this card. This is an archives card of Dave Winfield in a San Diego Padres uniform. What I really like about these cards too is, you know, you get their entire stats on the back, which, you know, that's also a cool way to have these Hall of Famers having their stats on the back. There's a Tony Gwynn in the 1975 mode. Really cool looking Gwynn card. And then there's some of these that come out in the 1950s, right? Look at that card. Steve Carlton. There's George Brett. Nolan Ryan. Monty Irvin. That's a cool looking card. And of course, Goose Gossage. And then my favorite one of all of those, of course, is this Babe Ruth. And this is one of two. I don't own a playing days Babe Ruth, as most people, but I love the way this card looks. You know, the back talks all about his career. That's just a beauty right there. That's a beautiful card. Or you've got the 1974 model. There's the Duke Schneider. Or the Lou Brock. The funny thing is Lou actually has a 74 card, which is kind of cool. But I do love the way this one looks. Love this picture of Tony Gwynn in the 74 look. There's Pop's Stargell. Here's a Bob Gibson. Just a cool looking card. And here is Tom Terrific. And then there's a Christy Mathewson. I know a lot of people are really into collecting Christy these days. I know Sammy Thunder's big into grabbing his stuff now. Great picture. And this is kind of a cool card. The other cards that I enjoy having that I have in my collection are the TCMAs. And they came out in the 80s. I think this is a TCMA, but I'm not 100% sure, of Duke Schneider, but it's a kind of a cool pose. Looks like it's at spring training. These cards I think are really cool, and they're great ways to pick up cheap vintage cards. So here's a TCMA of Don Drysdale, nice color shot. And then over here you've got the black and white. And to me, like the black and white just really screams the vintage of it. But then there's this color shot that also looks fantastic. And this is one of my favorite TCMA cards, right? It's the Dodger Power card. And when you look at it, right, you have Duke Snider, Gil Hodges, Roy Campanella, and Carl Ferrella on. And that's just a really cool card. And you've got 3 Hall of Famers on it. And these cards are really, really cheap. And then in 1974 and 1975, I know Dan's shown a few of these cards. They came out with these great inserts in their sets. So this is the Walter Johnson all-time strikeout leader. So this is a really cool card. Walter Johnson, you know, at the time, he was the all-time strikeout leader. Nolan Ryan went on to surpass that. But this is a cool card, and this guy, you know, some would say was the best pitcher of his era. Some would say was the best pitcher ever. But he was a fantastic ball player. And I also have this, which is the all-time batting leader, with a great photo of Ty Cobb on it. So, you know, as a kid, I didn't love these cards as much as I've gotten older. I wish I would have grabbed more of them. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking about actually, you know, trying to complete the sets. This is the one I really want to try to complete this set. Adam over at Splendid Sports Card has a great set of these. I just love these Sporting News All-Stars. So the 3 I have, one is of Lefty Grove. So this is just a really cool card, right? You've got his complete stats on the back. You've got a great natural picture of him. Here again is Walter Johnson, and this one is, I think, the classic Walter Johnson photo of him. And then when you just look at the back, you can just, the stats, they just jump out at you. So this is a great card. And of course, this one is my other Babe Ruth that I own. Once again, not a playing day, but it's a great card to own. I mean, it's a great picture of the Babe. So I love these cards. I'm thinking about potentially trying to go after that set, because I think you can do it fairly inexpensively. And I mean, these came out in the early 70s, so it's not like they're not vintage cards, but they're also well past the playing days of these great players. And then just the last few, these are just some of my favorite ones that I've pulled out. I love this Pop Stargell Tops. That's just a great looking picture, isn't it? Or this Ernie Banks. Look at Ernie. He's just he's ready to field the ball. Just a great looking card. This is when he was playing first base towards the end of his career. And then there's my 3 favorite players, or 3 players I collect the most of. There's Willie Mays, Here's a 2020 Topps, a great picture of Willie. Or the great Roberto Clemente. I love this archives. It's a reprint of the World Series, back from the 71 World Series. Great looking card. This is one of my favorite cards that I found. This one, it's hard to do it justice and the light's gonna flicker, but this is just a beautiful, beautiful Clemente card. I love this card. This card is super sweet. As a matter of fact, I've contemplated getting this one graded. I just think it's just such a cool looking card. And then the last card is this beautiful card. And this one was given to me by Matt, the Card Story, at the National last year. And it's the opening day, Henry Aaron hitting the 715th home run. So, and that's just a cool card. This is another one I've actually contemplated getting grading. It's got a little bit of nick in the corner, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful card. So there you have it, Dan. Those are my non-playing day cards, and it was really fun. And it is, to Dan's point, a great way to collect Hall of Famers. So if you haven't checked out Dan's channel, Old Sarge Collects, please do. It's a great channel. Check it out. I'm sure you'll give him a sub once you do. I hope everybody is doing well. It is freezing cold here in Chicago, so stay warm, stay safe, keep collecting, and we will talk soon. Take care.